The signal came like a whisper through the void, faint yet insistent, threading its way into every sensor aboard the Aurora. Captain Elara Myles stared at the glowing readouts, her pulse quickening. It was unlike anything humanity had ever recorded. Patterns within patterns, a rhythm that seemed almost alive. The origin was unmistakable, somewhere beyond the mapped edges of the galaxy, past the regions where light thinned and gravity warped into strange, unpredictable forms. Past the black horizon. "Captain," Lieutenant Corrin said, voice tight with tension. "The signal is repeating. Every 23 minutes exactly, and it's not natural. Whatever it is, it's broadcasting deliberately." Elara didn't reply immediately. Her eyes stayed fixed on the viewport. Beyond the protective shields of the Aurora, stars twisted and shimmered as if the universe itself were breathing. Every instinct told her this was dangerous, yet curiosity burned brighter than fear. "Plot a course," she said finally. "We follow it, all of it. Full speed toward the edge." The crew exchanged uneasy glances. Navigator Lyra Venn spoke softly, almost to herself. "The black horizon isn't just a boundary. Ships go in and don't come back. Even the legends speak of madness, of distorted time and lost minds." Alara's jaw tightened. "Legends exist because someone survived to tell them. We're going to see the truth for ourselves." As the Aurora accelerated, space outside began to distort. Stars stretched and twisted, bending around invisible currents. Gravity fluctuations tugged at the ship, and instruments flickered wildly, giving contradictory readings. It was as if the black horizon itself were aware of their presence, testing them, pushing them toward a limit beyond comprehension. Dr. Sellen, the ship's physicist, stepped forward, her voice tinged with awe. "The readings, they're impossible. Time dilation is extreme, but it's inconsistent. 1 minute here equals an hour out there, or the opposite, and the signal, it's synchronized with these fluctuations. It's like it's alive." Elara exhaled slowly, her reflection shimmered in the glass as if space itself were reaching back at her. "Then it's waiting for us. Whatever it is, it wants us to find it." The Aurora surged forward, engines humming with determination. Beyond the black horizon, the unknown awaited, vast, incomprehensible, and alive, and for the first time in human history, someone was daring enough to cross the edge. The Aurora passed through the last faint shimmer of starlight and entered the fractured expanse, a region where the rules of reality themselves seemed to waver. The stars no longer held their familiar positions. Constellations stretched and twisted like reflections in a warped mirror. Nebulae shimmered and rippled, pulsing with colors that didn't belong to any visible spectrum. Gravity pulled at the ship in uneven bursts, tossing crew members lightly against walls before releasing them as if nothing had happened. Lieutenant Corrin gripped the rail, scanning the chaotic readings on his console. "Captain, I don't understand it. Sensors are contradicting themselves. Time dilation spikes in unpredictable ways. One reading says we've been here hours, another says days. And the signal, it's getting stronger, but it's shifting." Dr. Sellen moved to the viewport, her eyes wide. "It's like we're floating inside a living thing. The signal, it isn't just sound or data. It's structured, almost sentient. And the patterns outside, they're responding to us. The cosmos itself is aware." Elara's hands rested on the console, her mind racing. She had anticipated unknown physics, but not this. Not a region where the very fabric of space and time bent in response to presence. "Steady, everyone. Keep scanning, but do not let it overwhelm you. This is uncharted territory. We're witnessing something beyond our understanding." Suddenly, the ship's lights flickered, and the air seemed to thicken. Crew members blinked as visions flashed in their peripheral vision, fleeting images of worlds that should not exist. Crystalline cities orbiting gas giants, floating continents draped in violet storms, creatures moving in impossible geometries. Some saw themselves as older, younger, or altered entirely, caught in timelines that never should have intersected with their own. Muffled whispers echoed through the ship, though no one spoke aloud. Words and languages unknown, rhythmic and deliberate, tugged at thoughts, memories, even emotions. "It's communicating," Dr. Sellen said, voice trembling. "But not in a way our minds are meant to process. It's shaping us." Elara closed her eyes for a brief moment, taking a deep breath. She felt the pull of the anomaly, a gentle tug that was both terrifying and mesmerizing. "Prepare for approach," she ordered. "Whatever we're seeing, we must get closer. The signal, it's a path, not a trap. Or at least I hope it is." As the Aurora edged further into the fractured expanse, the boundaries of reality seemed to fold around them. Time, space, and perception were no longer separate. They were inside something alive, vast, and infinitely aware, and it was watching them closely. The deeper the Aurora traveled into the fractured expanse, the more reality unraveled around them. Corridors of stars bent like molten glass, and nebulae twisted into spirals that seemed to reach for the ship. The crew began to experience fragments of memories that were not their own, fleeting visions of people, worlds, and events they had never encountered. Lieutenant Corrin shivered as he stared at the viewport. "Captain, I keep seeing ships we've never built, piloted by faces I don't recognize, and yet, somehow I know them." Dr. Celan's hands shook as she adjusted the instruments, but the readings were useless. Nothing adhered to known physics anymore. "It's more than a rift," she said softly. "It's a consciousness, a massive, sentient presence woven into the very fabric of this region. And it's aware of us, every thought, every movement, every decision. It mirrors them." Elara felt a weight settle over her mind, a pressure that was not physical but mental, like the expanse itself was pressing against her very thoughts. Shadows flickered at the edge of the viewport, and in one terrifying moment she saw a reflection of herself that blinked independently. It mouthed words that were not her own. "Do you understand? Or will you become one with it?" Marin, the engineer, stumbled back from his console, voice trembling. "It's showing us possibilities, alternate lives, choices we never made, outcomes that never happened. It's as if it's testing us or learning from us." Elara swallowed hard. The implications were staggering. The Black Horizon wasn't merely a boundary. It was a gateway, maintained by something intelligent and vast. The echoes of previous explorers, the ones lost to the anomaly, flickered in and out, trapped between timelines and memories. They weren't dead. They were part of it, integrated into the consciousness that surrounded the Aurora. "I need to understand," Elara said, determination hardening her features. "We can't just drift here and hope it spares us. We have to communicate, or at least establish contact." Dr. Celan hesitated. "Captain, attempting that could merge your mind with the entity. You may not return as yourself." Elara met her gaze steadily. "If we retreat, we learn nothing. If we engage, we may survive, or we may become part of the knowledge this horizon holds. But we have to try. Prepare the neural interface. I'm going in." As the interface powered up, the surrounding stars warped, and the sentient pulse of the Black Horizon seemed to focus entirely on her. Somewhere beyond, Elara sensed countless eyes, curious, patient, and alive, waiting for her next move. The Aurora drifted at the very edge of the unknown, the Black Horizon stretching before them like a living, breathing wall of darkness. Outside, stars bent and twisted in impossible arcs, casting eerie light across the ship's hull. Inside, the hum of the engines had become a low resonance, in tune with the subtle pulse that seemed to emanate from the rift itself. Every crew member felt it, not just as sound or vibration, but as a presence pressing against their thoughts, probing their minds. Elara sat in the neural interface chair, her hands hovering over the controls, heartbeat steady despite the storm of sensation building around her. The interface sparked to life, streams of data flowing into her consciousness faster than she could comprehend. Time stretched and folded, past, present, and potential futures coexisted in layers she could feel brushing against her awareness. Dr. Celan's voice came through the comms, tight with anxiety. "Captain, the signal is intensifying. The rift, it's reaching a critical state. We won't have much longer before it collapses, or consumes everything nearby." Elara's eyes widened as visions filled her mind. Glimpses of civilizations lost, ships torn apart, explorers frozen in moments that stretched to infinity. She realized the truth. The Black Horizon wasn't just a void, it was a sentient boundary, a living archive of everything that had crossed it. And now, it wanted to merge with her consciousness, to fold her mind into the vast memory it held. "I understand now," she whispered. "It's not hostile, it's waiting, learning, remembering." She reached out with her mind, letting the currents of the Black Horizon envelop her thoughts. Her perception expanded beyond the Aurora, beyond her body, beyond space itself. She felt the entity as a web of awareness, each thread a life, a memory, a possibility. And within that network, she became a conduit, a bridge between humanity and the infinite consciousness of the rift. The ship shuddered as the energy around them shifted violently, but the crew of the Aurora remained intact, shielded by the link Elara had formed. She transmitted her final message to Earth, voice calm yet charged with awe. We have crossed the edge. Beyond the black horizon lies the memory of everything. Humanity is no longer alone. We are part of it now. The Aurora began its slow drift back toward familiar space, leaving the black horizon behind. Inside the rift, Elara's consciousness pulsed with the living archive, aware of all that had been, all that was, and all that could be. Humanity had touched the final edge, and through her, the edge had touched back.